Alright, hello everyone and welcome back to the Starladder Star Series Season 4 Grand Finals, Na'Vi versus Empire. Na'Vi are leading in this series 2-1. It is a best of 5, so they only need one more game to take it. And they're going to have the first pick and ban this game. Being on the Radiant side, they're going to choose to take out Clinks right away. Not wanting to take any risks, giving Funnick a Clinks. Haven't been banning it out in the first ban phase really, the first two games. But willing to do it here, maybe thinking that Empire are kind of on their back foot, want to go back to the basics, give Funnick the Clinks. They're also going to ban out the Wisp. Not wanting to deal with either of the heroes. Funnick is really known for playing very, very well. And Empire are going to ban out Nyx Assassin as well as Batrider. Nyx Assassin sort of being the story of this series, banned out basically first every game. Neither team willing to just give him up. So first pick now, going the way of Na'Vi. There are a lot of heroes left that they can go for. It's really early. We're not sure, never know really what to expect from Na'Vi, what they're going to want to go for. We haven't really seen Bounty Hunter get picked up too much in this series, but still a pretty valuable hero, a little bit less so with the recent nerfs to track. Not giving the armor debuff, kind of a big deal. But Magnus working out really well for them last game, Denny able to land quite a few pretty big reverse polarities, able to turn the tides of team fights. Also in the pool, Templar Assassin is there if they want to pick him up first, or her up first rather, and also Darkseer, who we often see first pick nowadays if he makes it through the ban phase. So all these options open to Na'Vi, and not sure what they're gonna go for, and they do end up picking the Magnus. So maybe just not as afraid of the Darkseer as they are of going up against the Magnus with their own Darkseer. We did see that matchup come out last game, in a sort of sense. It did go the way of Magnus. Empire now going to use their first pick to take out the Darkseer. Make sure he's on their side. Don't want to give Magnus as well as Darkseer to Na'Vi. Don't want to deal with the vacuum into reverse polarity combo. And Empire now spending a little bit more time thinking about what their second pick is going to be. Wouldn't be too surprised to see the Jakiro again. Worked out pretty well last game. A lot of vacuums into Ice Paths, dealing a ton of damage to Na'Vi, and really helping them swing a couple team fights, even when they were so behind on the experience in gold. And in fact, they do pick up the Jakiro. Na'Vi gonna take Lone Druid. Sticking with what worked for them last game. I'm not sure what else we want to see here. If they don't just go with the Rubik again, that's their third pickup. Or maybe pick up something else that they could go for here. There are a lot of options. Even if they wanted to go for basically the same lineup they had last game, which seems kind of risky at this point because they did reveal that, and there is going to be 3 more bans.
5 seconds remaining.
Still looking for their third pickup now. Pretty much gotta expect that they're going to go for some sort of support hero here. And they're actually going to pick up the Lifestealer. So Lifestealer not working out too well for them that first game. But they are going to pick it up again this game. And Empire immediately responded with a Faceless Void pickup. He's been getting banned out in the second phase by Na'Vi, both of the games thus far. Because Empire hasn't been picking up their carry in the first pick phase. And as a result, Na'Vi was able to just always ban out the carries they didn't want to deal with, like the Faceless Void. But Empire, realizing that was the case, choose to pick up the Faceless Void now. Know how good he is against the Lone Druid, against the Magnus, and the Lifestealer. All these heroes that are melee, and really aren't going to be able to survive.
Na'Vi's turn to ban.
Na'Vi now banning out the Bane right away. Trying to take out that support hero that they know Empire really love to run in those tri-lanes. Also can run Bane in the mid lane. They don't really have a hero that you're probably going to see in the mid lane yet. Since you're going to expect the Darkseer to probably go off lane or solo safe lane and meet up with the Lone Druid again. Empire immediately respond with a Nature's Prophet ban. Prophet could be run as a jungler here. Wouldn't really expect to see him soloing in like the offlane role. Simply because Lone Druid and Lifestealer probably aren't going to want to lane together, as well as Magnus wanting to sort of lane. by himself for those easy levels. Navi respond with a Windrunner ban. Another hero that's pretty good in support, as well as being able to offlane or mid if it were to come to that. So it could have been a good fourth pickup from Empire to really leave their lane still versatile and hide what they were going to go with their last pickup. Fourth ban from Empire going to be Enigma, so once again targeting a jungler. And not sure if they're just going to continue banning out junglers with their fifth ban. Navi thinking about theirs at the moment though.
5 seconds remaining.
And not really sure who they want to ban out here. I wouldn't be too surprised to see something like a Shadow Demon. They're actually going to go with the Undying. Just don't want to deal with Undying in a tri-lane. They've been giving it away basically every game. And Empire has been picking it up. The first game worked pretty well. Second game, he was the least farmed hero in the game. Completely shut down very early. And fifth pickup, or fifth ban now from Empire. Pretty much expecting to see another jungler. If they want to go for something like a Chen pretty decent with Lifestealer. Though they could also pick up something like the Enchantress. And they're actually going to ban out the Rubik.
Navi's
So maybe think at the last second they didn't want to give up that Rubik against the Darkseer and the Faceless Void and Jakiro. All heroes with pretty good spells to steal. Wall and Vacuum in particular being great from Darkseer. Faceless Void only has 2 spells. And one of them is his ultimate, which is a great spell to steal. Navi going to use their fourth pickup to take out the Keeper of the Light. That's who they want on their team for their tri-lane. Again, working out so well for them last game on Arsart. With the mana regen just allowing the Phantom Lancer to do so much harass early. And really leading to all those kills they were able to get in that tri-lane. With the constant mana going up to him with his
10 seconds.
low cooldown, pretty decent mana cost nuke, just spamming that out.
Seconds remaining.
And Empire now looking for their fourth pickup.
Reserve time.
I wouldn't be too surprised if Empire were actually looking to pick up Coddle here. And not going to be able to get it because Navi in turn picking it up for themselves, and they're thinking about actually going with Queen of Pain for their fourth pickup. A lot of people were kind of expecting Navi to go for that originally. But Empire going to pick it up. And a pretty good hero from Empire can either lane the off lane or the solo mid lane. Also good for doing good AoE damage. In the Faceless Void ultimate, she can, if he catches a few heroes, she can just lay her Sonic Screen right down in the middle there.
10 seconds remaining.
Doing a huge burst damage to all of the heroes on Navi's side that get caught. And Navi now looking for their last hero. Probably expecting to see something for Puppy to play. And Chen still is in the pool. If they want to go that route, they're actually going to go for Lion. So another hero we don't see too much, but a good disabler and really what they needed on this Navi lineup. There's not a lot in the form of disables coming out right now. I think that was a lot of their issue in the first game, is they didn't really have too many good disables. But interesting to see the Lion pick up. Almost certainly going to see him in a support role.
10 seconds remaining.
And now Empire looking for their last pickup.
Seconds remaining.
Maybe confused about the Lion pickup as much as we are. But still looking here, probably going to want a third hero for that tri-lane with the Void and the Jakiro. Could be something like a Shadow Demon, who is still in the pool, and a pretty decent hero for beginning initiations. Not too great with Faceless Void, just because Faceless Void doesn't bring too much to the table in terms of aggression in a tri-lane. But it's also possible they could go for something more like a Shadow Shaman, or even a Leshrac if they wanted to try and go for that. Or if they really want to go all in on the AoE, they could pick up Tidehunter here. Tidehunter wouldn't be the worst hero in their tri-lane. Typically not the role we see Tidehunter played in too often nowadays, trying to give him the solo experience in something like the off lane. But Empire really running out of time here.
Disruptor.
They're actually going to go with Disruptor. One of the heroes they really favor. It's not really a solid stunner. So it could end up being a little bit of an issue, but definitely a powerful hero and very good in the hands of Empire.
Prepare for battle.
So Scandal going to be taking up the Queen of Pain, heading towards the mid lane. We're going to have Silent on the Disruptor, Funnick on the Darkseer. It looks like Darkseer going to be heading towards that bottom offlane solo. Bullerbrain on the Faceless Void, and Goblock taking up the Jakiro. In the meantime, for Navi, we have Arsart on Ezreal, Keeper of the Light. Looks like he's getting ready to ward this top rune. Does in fact put the ward down. We're going to have Dendy taking up the Magnus again. We'll probably see him in the mid lane. Havost once again on the Lifestealer. Light of Heaven on the Syllabear. And finally Puppy taking up the Lion. The Demon Witch.
30 seconds to battle.
So pretty interesting picks here. Don't see... Oh, the ward gets put down right on top of Puppy. He already has the sentry wards ready, immediately kills the ward. So a little unfortunate timing there from Silent. But that ward gets dewarded very, very quickly. Light of Heaven hanging out in the jungle.
The battle begins.
Not sure if he's going to just try and jungle for the moment, or if he's going to head towards his top lane. Because this is going to be a defensive tri-lane from Empire, and pretty much has to be expected as such, with Jakiro, Disruptor, and Faceless Void, not really going to be a very strong aggressive tri-lane. Maybe he's just thinking he'll be able to get a little bit more farming experience if he just hangs out in the jungle for a while. Darkseer, looks like he has the same idea. Knows that it's probably going to be a defensive line, tri-lane coming out as well from Navi. So both teams just going to abandon their off lanes. No, they don't want to go up against these defensive tri-lanes. They're not going to get anything out of it. And both heroes capable of jungling to some extent. The bear, pretty decent. Going to take good harass though. So Navi completely counter-warding early on in the game. Spotting out both the wards placed by Empire. Kind of unfortunate there. But the early warding coming out from Keeper of the Light really being useful in spotting out where Empire tried to put this defensive ward to defend the tri-lane top. Dendy already using up basically all of his mana in the mid lane, but he does have his bottle purchased already, it looks like. And in fact he does. So it's on its way to him. Should have a little bit easier of a time against this Queen of Pain than against the Templar Assassin last game. Looks like he wants to just Bottle Crow right away. Gonna wait for the Shadow Strike to wear off and get up in between ticks. Then gonna put the bottle on the Crow. He's back up to full health and mana. Just dropping a Shockwave. Gets the last hit. I'm not sure if he was trying to break the salve on Skinner or not, but he does miss that. So it looks like both teams really content to just try and have a farm off this game. I'm not sure really who's going to come out ahead. It looks like Navi might have a little bit better carry earlier on, but Faceless Void going to be definitely difficult to deal with. There's not a ton of disable coming out from Navi's lineup, and the people who are likely to get hexes aren't the ones who are going to be getting farm. In terms of the Keeper Light and the Lion, neither of whom are expecting to see any kind of money anytime in the near future. Whereas Queen of Pain could pick up a hex on the Empire lineup and is going to be getting a pretty decent amount of farm, especially if she starts roaming around, gets a few kills. But in the meantime, just every lane content to just trade hits, trade farm, at least for the moment. Experience of Gold just slightly favoring Empire, which isn't too surprising. Dendy not really going to get as much out of the mid lane as Queen of Pain, and that's going to be most of the difference. Light of Heaven should be about the same as is the Darkseer in their respective jungles. It looks like Light of Heaven actually pulling, so it's going to hurt Queen of Pain in the middle lane a little bit. It's probably sending the bear back to heal, is in fact doing so. And my mouse just died. Excuse me, my mouse went out for a second there. That was weird. Light of him continuing to farm in the jungle, so he's pulling. This is going to really hurt Queen of Pain's farm in the middle lane. Not going to have the easiest time here. It looks like Ezreal actually has rotated to the top lane. Gonna just try and keep this tower alive. We'll be able to get pretty okay farm. He's up to level 3 now, so we will be able to just sit there and channel Illuminates. Try his best to keep Empire from really pressuring this tier 1 in the top lane. And Empire don't really have anyone who's quite as good at doing that in the bottom lane. Darkseer could rotate down there and drop a few Ion Shells and try and disperse any sort of push, but it doesn't look like Navi's trying as hard to push either. Havost on the Lifestealer, content to just keep hitting this catapult and get that farm. Sorry if there was a little lag there, guys. Not sure if there was. Dendi getting pretty close to killed in the middle lane. Probably another Shadow Strike, but does have his bottle as well as the Crow there. Continuing to bottle Crow. Queen of Pain forced to run back by the presence of Ezreal, just spamming Illuminate out.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Meantime, Nake's starting to put some pressure on this tier 1 tower in the bottom lane. He's going to try his best not to get hit by it, and will back off in time, but able to take away about a sixth of its health pretty quickly. And Scandal ports back into the mid lane on his Queen of Pain. Dendi able to get a little bit caught up in terms of last hits, while the Queen of Pain was away, getting harassed out of lane.
No. My thanks.
But it should still be a pretty even game. Just kind of bouncing back and forth. Favoring Empire very slightly. Just because the Darkseer appears to be getting kind of far ahead of Light of Heaven in the jungle now. Light of Heaven spent a little more time trying to pull in the like, stopping the Queen of Pain from farming. But Queen of Pain with her nukes, as well as range, still continuing to outlast hit Dendi in this mid lane. So Queen of Pain was thinking about checking Rune Top, realizes it's not there. Actually, Light of Heaven finds it in the bottom lane, picks it up with his bear, and then ports the bear back. Gonna continue farming. Doesn't want to give Queen of Pain that regen rune. Not sure why Kinetic Field was used here. Maybe they were farming. Yeah, it was a stacked camp. It's fun and continue to farm. He's up to level 5 now. Doing pretty decent. Has his soul ring. Light of Heaven looks like he's going for that Midas again. And he continuing to get hit by the screams as well as the Shadow Strike. Queen of Pain doing her best to try and keep Dendi off of this creep wave. Make sure the only way he's lasting is with Shockwave. Gets a few last hits there now and again, but doing pretty decent for the most part. It looks like another Illuminate coming out. Oh, and Dendi misses the reverse polarity on Scandal. That's really unfortunate.
Too bad.
So gonna be able to back off with that, and the reverse polarity down for another 2 minutes.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack. Radiant's top tower.
Because I'm not really dropping frames, so if you're having an issue with lag, it's probably on Twitch's end. There's not anything I can do about it at the moment. Puppy continuing to wander around on this line, leveling up just the Earth Spike and Hex. Probably thinks he doesn't really need anything else, at least not for the moment. Gonna use the Hex, followed by the Earth Spike, chaining off those stuns. Gonna try and get away, but First Blood gonna go the way of Nake's, using the Infest on a creep. So First Blood gonna go the way of Havost once again. He's gonna appreciate that. He's already got his Midas done as well as 1800 more gold. Just getting absolute free farm here. In the meantime, Blow Your Brain on his Void also has his Midas up. Might actually get taken out here. Oh, 225, only down to 25 health. Almost getting killed by an Illuminate from the Keeper of Light, so pretty scary play there from Blow Your Brain. He must have something on the courier. It's actually just salves. So Havost way ahead in terms of farm.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Yeah, like 70 gold per minute ahead of Faceless Void. Not really sure how that happened. Looks like Havost just really out farming in the free farm lanes. I guess Havost has been left relatively alone, whereas Arsart has headed up to this top lane a few times. Just laying down the Illuminate spam, but they're pretty close on last hits. I'm not sure exactly how Havost got so far ahead. If he was just able to get... and actually ends up getting killed by Puppy on the line. With his grunty laugh. Using the finger of death. Just giving that Faceless Void the finger. So Lion really showing off his stuff here. Already leading to the only 2 kills in the game.
Dire's structures are fortified. Dire's bottom tower
And Lifestealer gonna get a kill on the bottom tower now. That's gonna be Armlet done. For Havost. And Dendi also has his treads done. Yeah, okay. So, Blow Your Brain not having the best time here. He's got his treads. As well as his Midas. I guess he's got the treads finished and Havost doesn't.
Tower is under attack.
But Havost does have Armlet. As well as Midas. And he's going to have his treads in about a minute. Even less. He'll be able to buy those at the side shop. And he's just getting farther and farther ahead with that tower kill as well as the first blood. Oh, how's Light of Heaven doing? He does in fact have his Midas up. It's off cooldown. A little surprised he's not using it. Maybe he just wants to make sure he gets the most experience out of it. But wasting a little bit of time on the cooldown. Looks like 4 heroes from Empire grouping up in this top lane. They're going to want to take this tier 1 tower top. It's only down to about 150 HP. But Arsart continuing to just spam Illuminates. Doing pretty good damage. Blow Your Brain gonna be able to get this kill though. And in fact goes down to the Ion Shell from the Darkseer. Disruptor almost getting killed by that. And tower gonna go the way of Faceless Void.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
So experience fading Na'Vi a little bit with those 3 kills. Lion actually getting a kill on Queen of Pain while I was bringing up the graphs. So Puppy continuing to wander around Lion and set up these kills. But experience favoring Na'Vi about 3,000. As well as gold sitting about the same. A little bit under that. But Na'Vi really getting ahead in this early game. Even trading free farm lane for free farm lane. Looks like Lifestealer really getting the best of it, at least for the moment. Blow Your Brain has a Ring of Health now, so we might be seeing him go for a Battle Fury. Kind of surprising to see him go for it after the Treads and the Midas, but he might be able to get it up pretty quickly. Though it will still be a little bit delayed. Meantime, Nake's, with his armlet up and another 1800 gold, probably going to see him go for a Desolator again. Just making sure he can do as much damage as possible in this early game. However, they don't have the Templar assist in this game, so they might not go as hard on the stacking armor debuff, and might go for something a little bit different, like a Basher or even a Maelstrom, if he just wants that attack speed, or the Bash.
Tower is under attack.
Havost continuing to just completely show off his farming skills this game. Proving to the world that when he is left alone, he can farm pretty well. Farm with the best of them. Blow Your Brain getting another kill on Keeper Light in the top lane. He uses ultimate for that. Not going to be too concerned. Isn't really worried about getting in team fights anytime soon with the way this game is shaping up. Looks like Empire is lining up to go for a gank on Havost in this bottom lane. He does not have a TP scroll, so he might be in a bit of trouble here. Will be 3 heroes coming out, as well as a 4th porting in. Queen of Pain pretty much going to alert that he needs to get out. But in the meantime, he's going to go on Jakira, and he will get this kill before anything else even happens in this fight. Probably going to get killed here with the Static Storm. from the and the Darkseer ability. So Havos gets killed with a 4-man rotation, but is able to get a kill beforehand, and that opens up Na'Vi to easily take this tier 1 tower mid.
Dire's middle tower has fallen.
There's a Vlad's up on the lone druid. He knows he doesn't really need to rush the Radiants this game. They're so far ahead in terms of farm right now, and if they really wait for late game, if Void gets a couple items up, he's going to be such a hassle for this team to deal with. They're going to have to rely on basically Arsart and Puppy to do something about the Void in fights, and that's not really where you want to be, where the only people who can do anything to him are your supports. And Na'Vi now gonna push this tier 1 tower in the top lane.
Dire's top tower is under attack. Radiant's middle tower
And they're
is
gonna just
under
keep taking this tier 1 tower now. It doesn't look like Empire's trying to force this defense at all. Life having actually missing that last hit a little bit. So a little bit of a mistake from him, but probably not too concerned in the grand scheme of things. Havost died in the bottom lane, buys a Sanj, so we're probably seeing him go for the Heaven's Halberd. Realizes that he doesn't really want to fight the Void, so just make it so the Void can't fight. Problem solved. So a pretty smart pickup coming out from him, really.
Structures are fortified.
Na'Vi smoked up, smoked up in the middle lane. Dendi has a Viz Road on. So the smoke might get revealed, but Dendi will still be invisible. Not sure if Empire going to react to that. A lot of heroes from Empire in this middle lane. Dendi, once again, faking the reverse polarity, not doing anything with it. He's been doing that a lot this game, using it and then canceling it, and not really getting anything for it. Havost immediately gets hit by the Static Storm, but is going to get the kill on Disruptor in the meantime. Reverse polarity comes out, actually hits on 2. But with that skewer, not going to do too much, but does in fact get the Queen of Pain killed with the Finger of Death from Puppy, as well as Lone Druid just wailing away with a bear. And that's going to be 3 more kills going the way of Na'Vi, as well as a tier 2 tower mid. And the only one who can really stop it is Blow Your Brain. He still doesn't have his Battle Fury up. He's about 30 gold away, so we'll have it pretty soon. But all it's going to do really is help him farm more. And if Na'Vi don't give up on pushing, he's not really going to have the space he needs to keep going at it. Blow Your Brain jumps in, uses the Void Ult, gets in on 3, as well as the Vacuum and the Ice Path, followed by the Kinetic Field, but they're not able to kill anyone in the meantime. Queen of Pain ultimate comes off, almost getting a kill on Havost. And Havost is in fact going to get picked off. But pretty much every skill used. Puppy barely getting killed there. Trying to port away the Ice Path just misses, but Queen of Pain does get unstunned in time to use the Scream of Pain and get that kill. So another kill going the way of Empire there. But again, every skill pretty much from Empire on cooldown now, and Na'Vi now probably not too afraid to continue pushing. Static Storm is back off. And Empire now backing off. Yeah, it looks like my internet spiked a little bit there. I'm really sorry, guys. I don't know what's happening today. It's having a little bit of issue. Slightly unfortunate timing, but not a ton I can do about it at the moment. Foe's continuing to farm. He's up to 2,000 gold, so if he walks to the side jump now, he will be able to buy his Seventh Halberd. In fact, does. With that, it's going to be even funnier when this Void tries to do things in fights. With the disarm for 4.5 seconds, only 3 seconds on the melee target. Dendi actually getting vacuumed up to the Ancients. Static Storm also used. Dendi getting killed basically immediately. So good ward there from Empire, letting them set up that kill on Dendi. And with that, Na'Vi not really going to probably want to fight this. And Empire could try and go on Roshan. Na'Vi don't have any wards up at the moment. Empire aren't going to know that, obviously. But they are going to check. Starlight puts a sentry ward down. Sees that there isn't, in fact, any wards up. And with that pretty decent setup for Roshan. Na'Vi, though, they're going to continue putting pressure on this tier 2 tower. Almost not really afraid. Realizes it takes pretty much everything the enemy team has to kill him. And without a static storm up, not going to be quite as easy. Keeper the Light actually uses his ultimate and pulls Dendy back into the fight. Gets here pretty quickly. He has a Claymore, and Claymore only goes in two things. Does in fact only go in two things, and I really don't expect. Maybe he is going for the Battle Fury. He's got a Ring of Health. Kind of hard to feel like that's the right call, but it could be. Or it could be the really exciting item, and he could be going for a Shadow Blade. In the meantime, Lifestealer, though, getting a last hit on the tier 2 tower bottom. Na'Vi back off. Looks like they don't even really want to go for Roshan, at least not at the moment. Just going to rotate, looks like to the mid lane. Empire now all setting up by their Ancients. Maybe expecting Na'Vi to have gone for Roshan. And now just kind of in a weird position where they want to try and defend it, but it's not there. Well, that was weird. Tendi activates a double damage rune on his Magnus. Invisibility picked up by the Disruptor. And the smoke gets popped by Na'Vi. Actually doesn't hit on the bear. A little weird. Maybe it was away and he recalled it back. And they're just going to rotate towards this top lane and take this tier 2 top. Empire starting to get ports in to try and defend this. Faceless Void still there. Just to 2,000 gold. Probably wants to try and go for a big ultimate here. But Na'Vi content to just spread out. Know that Light of Heaven alone could take this tower without too much struggle. Does in fact get the last hit. And Jakiro going to go down basically immediately. Faceless Void trying to land the ultimate. Can't really hit anybody. Ends up getting basically only Havost and Light of Heaven, but a big reverse polarity coming off from Dendy. Hits 4. Forces the enemy Empire's team to back off. 2 heroes going down in that. The wall comes up, but with this lineup, Na'Vi not quite as afraid of it as last time. They have so many very tanky heroes. With the Lifestealer, Magnus, and the Lone Druid. And with those 3 heroes down, Na'Vi just going to go into this top lane. Going for the tier 3. Void buys back, but his ultimate's still on cooldown for like 75 seconds. Not going to be able to do too much here. And I'm going to be too surprised to see Havos just go for it. Gets a kill on Jakiro. Basically instantly. In the rage. It looks like they're content to back off now. Realize pretty much everyone from Empire is up. Queen of Pain didn't use their ultimate, so that's going to be up as well. And it looks like they're just going to heal up and regroup. Just back off from this tier 3 tower. And now waiting for the next creep wave, maybe. Arsart channeling Illuminate. Gonna hit on these creeps. Doing a pretty decent amount of damage. Feels gonna finish them off. Get that easy farm. And Empire now look like they're still getting ready to defend this. 20 seconds for the Void ult, but the tower's going to be down before that. Light of Heaven getting that last hit with his bear. And basically, Na'Vi content to just use the bear from Light of Heaven as well as Havost with how tanky he is and survivable with the rage to just siege these towers. And now the barracks. Light of Heaven actually killing the range barrack first. Not sure what that's about. Maybe just thinks he'll be able to easier to get, and does in fact get it. Jakiro once again getting slowed up by the open wounds from Havost. Picked off basically immediately. Havost trying to farm, getting kind of stalled out. A little bit by the kinetic field, being just slightly annoying.
Dyer's top barracks have fallen.
Now, Havost almost has his AC down, only about 10 gold away from that. Look at Light of Heaven. Where is his bear? He has a Sacred Relic up. I expect to see the Radiance coming out for him pretty soon. Should have it. There it is. So Radiance up on the Lone Druid now. Dendy's still not 100% clear on what he wants to go for here. Doesn't look like he's purchased anything. Actually finishes off his Perseverance, so it looks like he will go for the Battle Fury. Seems weird, but definitely going to be able to get it, and they're so far ahead at this point that maybe it doesn't matter. Just wants to be able to do as much damage as possible in these team fights. Dendy invisible with haste, wandering around trying to find anybody. Lawyer Brain forced to run back. So every ultimate is up from both teams now, and Navi is going to continue sieging this tier 3 tower, using their same strategies before, with Havost and the Bear, just dealing so much damage. Lawyer Brain going to get taken out basically immediately. The Finger of Death coming out from Puppey. Dendy landing a reverse polarity on 3, and that's going to be it. Empire going to call it. And Navi really showing their stuff in these last 2 games. Excuse me. Just systematically pushing towers, building up farm advantage early on. Just showing individual skill at last hitting. And now Havost really playing solidly. Ends up getting killed. Standing in the wall fighting himself. And yeah, Navi gonna take it 3-1. Hang out for a minute. Wait for the score screen, but Navi gonna take Star Series, and that's 4 in a row, I believe. They've won every Starladder Star Series in Dota 2. Keeping their streak alive. Star Series Kings. And the last player disconnecting now from Empire. We'll get to see that score screen for you in just a second.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Thanks for watching, everyone. Once again, my name is Kanaz. I try to cast at least every once in a while. Just started pretty recently, about a week and a half ago. If you like what you saw, feel free to follow me either on Twitch, or I have a couple social media type deals I added recently. I am working on a YouTube channel, trying to get VODs uploaded for people who miss out, or just want to check out the games again and look at my casting. I did remember to record these games locally, so I will be able to do that much more quickly than I have been in the past.